Hare Krishna. So first and foremost, I would like to do the pranam mantra, and then after that we can have discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamma Shlokir Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki Sranatam Shokatah Krishna Punya Sronam Kirtanam Hridagantosya Bhadrani Vidunati Shuhadsatam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shodhito Gaurudaya Pushpanto Chitrau Shanto Tamodo Om Ajnanatimirandhasya
Mandasya
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय
Jnanasya
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांतो स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम हरे
Rama, Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama, Hare
राम
Rama,
राम राम
Rama
हरे हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्णा हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Rama Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama,
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य ही दिवाएंगे श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय एसेंबल भक्त वृंद की जय 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 श्री श्री भक्ति वैभवा फर्स्ट सेशन की जय डियर डिवोटीज थैंक यू सो मच for showing your enthusiasm to be part of the Bhakti Vaibhava course. So, Bhakti Vaibhava course, for sure, this is first time I'll be doing it here for ISKCON St. Louis. So this is going to be powerful journey together, and many of you were part of Bhakti Sastri. So thank you so much. Really tells a lot about your dedication and your zeal to study Shastra systematic. So this syllabus or this course will have 6 cantos from Canto 1 to Canto 6, and that will award you certificate of Bhakti Vaibhav. All of you are already Bhakti Shastris. So let's get on this journey. What I'm going to do today, I'm just going to give you some brief outline of the course curriculum and why Bhakti Vaibhav is important. So before I get into that, first I would like to introduce myself. So I'm a strict follower of Brahmadha Gauriya Sampradaya and disciple of His Holiness Adhanath Swami Maharaj, who is disciple of our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. So the discussion that we are going to do today, or will continue doing, is going to very much adhere with the mood, mission, and teaching that is presented by Brahmadha Gauriya Sampradaya. There are, multiple commentaries on Bhagavatam, and depending on the social context or particular issues that was going on at that time, acharyas have given, multiple commentary, but we'll try to adhere with the guidelines and commentary that is given by acharyas who are falling into Brahmada uh, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, for sure, the first thing that I would like to tell, they said that Sat Slokena Pandita, can someone become a Pandit just by knowing the Sat Sloka, just by knowing the 100 verses? And one may say, no. I mean, how you can become Pandit just by knowing the 100 verses? But then, on the other hand, what is the purpose of knowing the 100 verses? There are people who know thousands and thousands of the verses, but they never reach to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Vedasya sarva ahameva vedyo. The essence of all the Vedic knowledge that I am to be known. So even if we have a uh, broken way of expressing our devotion, and we might not have thousands of verses, we might have only 100 verses in our toolkit, but we are using that to glorify Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that meets the purpose. So that's the mood. The mood here is that whatever we have, Prabhupada's in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, and also the same thing was spoken by uh, Narad Muni to Vyasdev, that it might happen that the presentation is broken. It has not the it has not all the element of Vyakaran and Chanda, and the meter and proper pronunciation of the swar. But all of these elements themselves feel very proud when they are being used in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvagunna Samahite. All of these elements are meant to be engaged in devotional service. And if they are left alone with full perfection, and hope you are getting the point, they're left alone somewhere with full perfection, correct pronunciation of the word and verbiage and chanda, but not to glorify Krishna, then they don't feel happy. So, whatever intelligence we have, if that intelligence is being used in serving Krishna, then that intelligence itself feel very, very happy. They feel that I got the right engagement. So that's the important thing we have to understand, that that we are trying our best to talk the pastime related to Krishna, and that is the perfection. So I would say that that would be the spirit when we try to get through these courses, not necessarily trying to see that are we being perfectly 100% right on each and every attempt, or each and every measures that normally you have, or each and every calibration scale that you have to calibrate if something is right or not right. Rather, we'll rather move with the essence and purpose of all the shastric study that we do. So St. Louis Bhakti Swasthya Study Center, we are basically approved center, which means the certificate that you would get is none different than getting it from Mayapur Institute or Bindavan Higher Institute of Education or Govardhan Eco Village or anywhere else. We are basically approved center by ISKCON Ministry of Education. So the certificate, and some of you have received the Bhakti Shastri certificate. And if you compare with any other certificate, no difference. The only difference is that, you'll find signature of myself, that this, fallen person, but everything else is same. So you should not think that the certificate that you are going to get has any, difference than getting it from somewhere else. One of the things that I would like to share with you is that uh, when I was part of this Bhakti Shastri and other teaching program, the success rate was only 20%. So 80% of the students were failing. Why? Because there was no some sort of mentorship. There was nobody close to them who can ask them, please, Prabhu, did you submit the homework? You know, did we do this? Did we do that? Plus devotees were two devotees from here, devotees from there, two devotees from somewhere else. So although we all were devotees, but there were not internal, bonding. There was nobody to really look upon. And with all of endeavor that society made, the success rate was only 15 to 20%. Very, very small success rate. And that's the success rate I'm talking about Bhakti Shastri. For Bhakti Vaibhava, 0.3, 0.4% success rate. Very, poor performance overall. But just take the example that the Bhakti Shastri course that we did, we had 16 students, and out of 16, 12 of you are going to be awarded the certificate. On the time, we carried very well, and the learning that you got for sure, since I have gone through some of these courses, was much better, because we tried together to learn. We had internal bonding, we were looking upon each other, we were trying to stay in pace, and it was a beautiful journey that we went through. And we just turned that upside down. We had 80% success rate. So that's the a difference. That's why our society has decided that let's make a small center, and let devotee work more on a personal level to motivate each other, and let's get through this shastric, because that's what we pride of, right? Overall, many of us came through ISKCON because we like the philosophy. If I ask Asuk Prabhu, why did you decided to come to ISKCON? Prabhu will say that I have been to so many places, but I like Kirtan, I like philosophy, right? Many of you would say that. So philosophy is our basis. Book is the basis, right? And and what's happening in the society today now, that people are hearing a lot, YouTube and this tube and that tube and that tube. And not to criticize the hearing has to happen, but the foundation of the subject. So once you get into reading, then you yourself put into the, in that domain. Narad Muni is talking to Vyasdev. You imagine a certain, situation, and you yourself are somewhere hearing this. And then that basically build multiple level of understanding and depth that stays with you. Hearing, I have seen it comes from there, go there. And also it does not give authenticity, because particular speaker is talking about particular subject to make a particular point. So you just take that point and apply somewhere else, doesn't work. And I have seen that happening, not to criticize, but I see, and people say, yeah, good, good, good. But unless and until you yourself have not, invested studying the Shastra very systematically, studying Srila Prabhupada's book very systematically, that profound base will be always missing. So, so that's the, intent. And Prabhupada, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, very seriously said that let our, followers, let the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, which we are in, he's our preeminent Siksha Guru, go through Shastric study, such as Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta, and Bhakti Sarvabhaum. Let them systematically go through these courses, study, right? And those certification will be equivalent to bachelor, master, and PhD certificate. So that's what, basically our acharyas wanted. So we have to sync, right? We have to sync with the mood and mission that's given by our acharya. Do I or do you or somebody else want to do it? Maybe our material intelligence will say that, oh, it's too time consuming, it's too difficult, I have to give exam, I have to memorize the verse. But the spiritual intelligence should support it, because that is how we can nurture, that is how we can cultivate our stronger Krishna consciousness. Okay. And let's see why I said that. So if you go to VIHE or MIHE, I have been to those places, you'll see in their classroom these 12 aims of Shastric studies are posted. And these are coming from the purport of our acharyas. And they have emphasized that Shastra must be studied in a very systematic way for knowledge, understanding, personal application, preaching application, faith and conviction, being authority, theological application, evaluation, moods and mission, academic and moral integrity, responsibility for learning, and Shastra Chakshu. So all these 12, you can say that, devotee have abbreviated it and they say KUPP, KUP, faith, Mars. So you can see that knowledge, understanding, personal application, and preaching application. Faith and conviction, authority, theological application, evaluation, like that. So learning basically, and if you have done the teacher training courses, then they say that three things, basically you have to have with learning. You have to gain the knowledge, and then you have to develop the skill set, and then finally it should change your value system, values, the value system. And advancement in Krishna consciousness means aligning with the value system. And what is value system? The system that's coming from Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. That's the nutshell. I might have some preference, I might have some liking, I might have my own ways of doing the things. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that what's going to be calibrated by Srila Prabhupada, by our spiritual master, by our disciplic succession, is that how much we synced our value system with the value system of our acharyas. I always bring the point that there are experiential learning, and then there is shastric learning, shastra yukti. Okay, we cannot interfere this. Of course, we need our experiential learning to develop the shastra chakshu, to understand the logic that shastra is presenting. But our goal is to slowly and slowly sync ourselves with the logic of Shastra. And what do I mean by saying that? I'm trying to say that one should think like Shastric injunctions or Shastric, presentation. You know, the easiest way we can approach Krishna. What is the easiest way to approach Krishna is holy name. The first receptance of Krishna everybody has is holy name. And Nam Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Vinatto Nam Namino. And this holy name is none different than Krishna. But then it takes process. It takes years and years to really come to this realization, to chant this name of Krishna very purely. And that's our goal. Our goal is to basically come to that stage where we can chant the name of Krishna purely. So likewise, there could be multiple example, but our goal should be that we should be follower of Shastra Yukti, the logic that's given by Shastra. Use our experiential, learning, the experiences that we have out of this material world, but slowly and slowly transfer everything to sync ourselves. And that is a progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness that happens. So why we have to study? Not certificate is one, uh, one way to appreciate and recognize our endeavor. But the most important thing is that changing our value system. There is tug of war between where we are versus where we have to go. So constant injections of the higher principle will slowly and slowly, will slowly and slowly, will slowly and slowly will make change. So that's what is the importance of doing Bhakti Vaibhava. Think about the time that you are putting. Think more than the homework that you have to do. Rather think that this is for your spiritual well-being. This is going to help me. Do I get paid for all of that? I do, but I'm going to be putting a lot of my time to present this science. Why? This helps me. This gives me foundation. This gives me understanding. So that's my humble request to all of you that, and all of you survived Bhakti Sastri, that tells that you have zeal. You want to change your value system. So we are on the right track, and with due submission, with very a humble mood, we have to take this process and go through it, and you will find that we will be changing our overall value system that we have been carrying on. So for this session we'll have 60-minute Zoom class every week. Sometimes we might get done in one session, sometimes we might have to break it up in 3 and 4 sessions depending on the length of the chapter. The chapter is too lengthy, and if there are a lot of philosophical points that we have to talk, like for example, the very first chapter, very first verse, right? The Visaya Vastu of Bhagavatam. That verse, we are going to like 1, 2, 3, these 3 verses, we are going to take a lot of time to understand, look at different perspective that is given to us by our acharyas, and we'll try to understand. But some of the verses will be more of a, just sequential flow, just, certain things to say to get to the next step. So depending on where we are, sometimes we might go very, slow. Sometimes we might adjust and be little, uh, fast. Sometimes we might be very faster just to make the statement and keep on going to the next item. So we'll continue and adjust as we go along. All the classes that we'll be giving, I'm going to put on YouTube link that you have seen. And what I found is that sending me the homework and then me going into my Gmail, downloading it, putting into a separate folder, all of that for Bhakti Shastri was a learning for me. And that little bit slowed down the whole process. So we are basically going to use Google College, Google Classroom, and I'll see over the time if I can find some better system. We'll have, there are like educational, system like universities are using where their students are submitting the homework, teacher can go and grade. Slowly and slowly, we are going to get into that. And some of the registration costs that you give, that's what is being used for, for to receive your certificate, to pay for the Zoom classes and get some better system where we can basically serve you better. So all of that I keep track, and our goal is to basically create a very optimized learning environment where we all can study Shastra in a very efficient way. So please join that Google Classroom if you have not joined it. And there you can see the homework that I'll be posting and all the recording that 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 we'll be doing. All of that is going to be uh, at one place, and then you can submit your homework. I can get there right away, do the grading. So some of the students who are part of Bhakti Sastri batch 2, they are now seeing the value of it. They are submitting the homework right away. I go and work on it and give them the mark. It's much better. So I wish I could have done that for batch 1, but there was some learning. So whatever learning I had in Bhakti Shastri batch 1, I'm going to use that and give you a very, good experience of learning. Now get into the curriculum. Okay. So what we have basically to do, what we have to do to this certificate. So there are total 10 modules, and you can see M1 stands for module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and each module has chapters. So Bhagavatam chapter 1 to 9 from first canto will be module 1, and it has 3 units. So like 9 chapter A, B, C, like that. So from each module, we'll have one test. When I did it, I had to give the test for each unit. But and it was 1 hour test, so many tests to give. So it's better to maybe, we'll keep 2.5 hours, 3 hours. That's what devotees are doing also, and make it maybe one test so that you prepare 9 chapters and then come for 2.5 hours, give the test, and that gives while you are studying, it will give you a nice summary of 9 chapters that you have studied. So we'll have homework A, B, C, chapter wise as we go along. I'll keep on sending. So we'll have to do the homework, and then we have to have a closed book test, which means I'll send you the question on the Zoom, and then you can keep your camera on and give the exam. And then essay is going to be a little different this time. So from each unit, not from each unit, but from each module, you'll have set of questions. So I'll give you maybe 10 or 12, questions. And out of that, you have to, there will be instruction given to you that you have to go total up to 2000 to 2500 words. So if you decide that, okay, I can pick up 2 questions and maybe write each up to 1000 word, then that's also fine. Then you can do 2. Or if you think that, maybe I can pick up 3 and do 650, 600, 700, something like that, and distribute that. So that you can go more than 2000 words, but 2 to 4, and that instruction will be given to you as you will receive your uh, homework. So essay writing, as usual, you know, we try. I'll give you some instruction. So for essay writing, we have to be a little bit creative. So definitely we have to refer to Srila Prabhupada's purport, but also if some of the challenge, if you want to challenge why this thing, then in a very logical, and if you have done the Bhakti Shastri is prerequisite for this course. So if you have done the Bhakti Shastri, in Bhakti Shastri you have seen that you have to tackle these questions, keeping mood and mission intact. You have to watch XYZ and make sure that you tackle it. Then some of the thing you can challenge and you have that experience. Why like this? Why not like that? I think it should be like this. And then you can present your logic, not just make the statement, but make the logic that I think Krishna is saying here this thing. In Bhagavatam, it says here that thing. So if I understand from this to learning, this is the message I get. So why not this? Why that? So we'll get into that more, but you'll have to write essay, and that will kind of broaden your understanding and more of a preacher, right? Whenever we have questions coming from different perspective, how we can tackle that. This chapter will also require you to memorize the verses. So little difference here. In Bhakti Shastri, we knew the verses that we have to memorize, and you had to write the verse and then their translation in your exam. But this one is not going to be like that. This one you will have to memorize and recite. So once we'll take the exam for the sloka memorization, then you can basically record yourself honestly. Nobody, helping you, no book, no help, and just 4 verses you can, recite and record it and send it. In the exams, in the closed book exams, there will be, we said that WVT, right? The word by word from the verse, and then do the translation. So there will be questions also about writing the verses and translation, or there will be questions that will be asking you that in that particular verse, please cite that verse and make the statement that that particular context is making. So you will have to do what you did in Bhakti Shastri, which means memorize the verse and write the translation for that verse. But this list of verses that you are seeing is not going to be different than what you will have to write in the exam. Hope it's clear. So these three verses from module one, that's what you have to remember. Maybe one of them will be in the exam and other two you will have to record and recite. So we'll, as we go along, once you get the, course material, you will know exactly what you have to basically do. And last but not least, I will provide you list of topics. So in Bhakti Shastri, it was wide open, right? Devotee, you decide whatever you like to talk, and then you all gave nice presentation, powerful presentation. But I was not, basically some of you gave out of the learning that you had from Bhagavad Gita, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, Ishopanishad. Some of the presentation was really not very much, you know based on the study or the learning that you had, rather just some generic thing. I was a little bit forgiving there, and I didn't point that out. I encourage it, for doing you that, because we just want to, hear something from you, that how you present your shastric thought. But for this one, that's not the case. Now we are going to be doing the Bhakti Vaibhava. We'll give you the topic, and you have to choose that. So from each module, there will be like 7 or 8 topics. So there are plenty topics, so many topics, and all you have to do is that just choose one. And then once you choose that topic, then you have to get into that particular context where that discussion is happening in fourth canto. Okay, Dhruv Maharaj is being instructed by Shambhu Manu. Hey, why you think that this yaksha are the cause of killing your brother Uttama, right? And then there is a beautiful theme that Bhagavatam talks. When Bhishma was being instructed, when Bhishma was instructing Yudhishthira Maharaj, he said, Yudhishthira Maharaj also thought that I am the one who was the cause of all that battle that happened. Because I had to be king, all of that happened. So he was thinking that I am the one who is guilty, I am the one who is the cause of this fighting. Vishpitama says, nope, nope, nope. This is not the call, this is not the karma, this is not the swabhav. Not none of these things. Yes, on superficial level, these things seems to be the doer, but in fact, the real doer is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarvakaram Karnam. And as a time, he moves everything as river is moving the water through. Same thing, later Prithu Maharaj will tell. So likewise, you have to take a theme, and that theme, your expertise will be that you have studied six canto, you are pulling from different places and saying that here Vishwadama is saying like that, here Shambhu Manu is saying like that, you know here this personality is saying like that. So this is the you know reason. So it's going to be very technical type of presentation, very focused presentation, rather than keeping it wide open. So this is another way to basically show you that how sub units are divided. So unit A has 1 2 3 chapters, B has 4 to 6. So some, if you would have noticed, in some module we have only 3 units, and some we have 4 A, B, C, D here. So depending on length of the chapter, this is just the way it was, uh, divided. And all of that is basically a person who is conducting the course, he can decide how the layout should be. But that's another way to look at it. We'll have units, and you would get the homework and course material as we go through it. Okay, then this thing comes. What is our passing criteria? You have to, in order for you to get certificate, at least you need 50% in each module or in each topic. So homework 50%, closed book assessment 50%, sloka memorization 50%, essay writing 50%, presentation 50%. Your personal behavior has to be, adequate, which means we are not taking shastric study. We never take in a challenging spirit. Okay, you are right, I am wrong. Rather, we had to present the fact. We have to present the fact. We are just sharing the information. Prabhu, I think like that. I'm not going to say that whatever the Asindu Mataji said was not right. That's not the spirit. And then for entire discussion, every course, every exam, everything that we do, mostly for the Zoom session, 80%, minimum 80% of your participation is needed. This is very, uh, I would say that mandatory requirement that you be part of the Zoom classes and take part in discussion. For this course, we are going to have a lot of discussion. In Bhakti Shastri, we did not really do a lot of discussion, although we should have, but I just wanted to make sure that you all feel a little bit secured and encouraged. But we have to. Now you all are Bhakti Shastris and we are getting into Bhakti Vaibhava. So we have to have, not necessarily that as an instructor, I have all the perfect answer. That's not the expectation. I'm just the, kind of a person who is managing it. You could have better answer than I do. And many cases you have. If Lal Gaur Prabhu part of this class, I'm sure that he would have a lot of other insights. So so intent here is not basically that I should be right all the time, rather making the point. But whenever you are making any point, learn the habit to say things from Shastra. I'm saying this from here, I'm saying this from here. That how you become authentic preacher. People who have more belief in Shastra, people who have studied Shastra, when you are talking, they will put more trust in your message, because they know that you are not only talking, but you are telling from here it's coming, how it's coming, what is the context. So some of these are basically the broader objective for our spiritual nourishment we have to do. I see Priya Devi Dasi Mataji, one of the learned devotee here on the call. All of you are Bhakti Shastris, but she is for sure one. So what do you want to ask Mataji, or what do you want to share before I conclude my presentation? I might have a few more slides to go, but
No, I just
please.
one-to-one clarification, Prabhuji. What is the
Yes.
difference between homework assessment and essay? Like both of them are like homeworks, right? So what is the difference between these
So
two?
homework, you'll have multiple questions. And essay, you'll have only 2 to 4 questions. Homework is going to be short term. I mean, short answer, or, maybe mid type questions, or maybe like 8 sentences, 10 sentences. But for essay, you'll have to write paragraphs and paragraphs. You'll have to,
Oh,
write multiple, points. Homework is going to be very much contextual. Okay, we are studying the discussion, the questions that is being asked by sages of Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. Okay, so what is the first question? That type of. But essay will be that what are some of the, so if you put in the major bucket, right? The 6 questions that were asked talks about Bhakti, Bhagwan, and Bhagavatam, right? So give some bigger perspective. Put all of those 6 questions together and how you see that, where it's going, right? Give some coherent thinking with your answer. So that's what basically I just gave the example. That's how we are going to see. So essay, as I said, essay is going to be broader. Essay will give you the room to put your thoughts. Essay will give you opportunity to build your logic. But with homework, you will be adhering to the particular context of discussion that's happening. Is it clear, Mataji?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Sindhu Devidasi Mataji. What you would like to ask?
Prabhuji, in the last class, you mentioned that essay we need to finish in limited time, whereas the homework can take longer. Is that still the case, or?
once again, repeat, Mataji, what exactly you meant by that? I would like to know a little.
So, Prabhuji, in the last class, in the Bhakti Shastri ending one, where you gave a glimpse of Bhakti Vaibhava, where I asked the same question: what is the difference between the homework and essay? Because it's open book, both of them. So you mentioned that for essay, you'll be giving only a limited time, whereas for homework, the time will be longer, or whenever you want to submit, you can, something like that.
So here is what I would like to do for tracking purpose. As we are done with first 3 chapters, right, which is part of unit A, I would like to make sure that the homework is done and then the essay is also submitted. That's the ideal way to make sure that the entire class is in the same pace and we are moving in a proper pace. But if you have some conflict or some other things going on in your life and you say that, Prabhu, maybe I can do the homework, but for essay I might take a little long time. I mean, that part definitely we can adjust. But my kind of advice would be that if you just stay on pace and keep on doing as we go along, you will find it easier for you. And also a small chunk at a time, you can handle the bigger piece, very slowly. If you keep leaving things for next day, then at the end of the day, you'll find that you have so much to do and it keep on becoming worse and worse. So what you said, I agree with that. I would definitely keep that as a option. But again, I would advise you that you stay on pace and do as we go along. That way, your learning is also going to be very good. Okay, I saw that Ashok Prabhu had also raised his hand. Prabhu, your question got answered, or you still have something?
Yeah, I had almost similar question as Dayamata Samili. I mean, it's just that I think it was a little bit, you made it a little more clear now. So that's fine.
So then explain what exactly is clarity for you. What exactly you got it for the others to make sure that if they are.
So what you had said that you have to really once you deliver the lecture, you try to do the homework at that pace, so that you are submitting it on regular basis, so that at the end you are really not getting too bogged down with a lot of work. And then the essay questions you will give, and you should basically submit those by the end of that session, whole session, so that we are all at the same pace, rather than somebody not submitting, so that we could start with the next chapter or the unit at that same level.
Yes,
So
Prabhu. Yes.
that's my understanding.
Thank you. Yes. So let me give you one very practical example. The mistake that I made. What I did when I was doing this course, I just went through all the homework. Okay. And I gave the test. You could do that. But what happened for the essay? Now I had to go back again and read the entire chapter. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So because I had lost it, now the unit A was done and I had moved to unit B, and I thought that let me do all the homework, close book test, give all the exam, but I didn't realize that if it's part of the requirement, unless and until I don't do this one, I'm not going to be certified. So then, I went all the way up to module 7 or 6, I believe. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, I haven't done all the homework. Then it was very, very lethargic type of endeavor for me, because now I had to go back. I use the word lethargic because I wanted to give you that impression in your mind that it becomes very heavy. Oh my gosh, now I thought that I am done with all of this. And then I have to go back and read it again very systematically and answer those questions. So it was double work for me. So it will keep you very efficient and easier on you. Once you are done with it. Better to stay on pace.
Yeah.
So that you
So-
don't have to back and forth. Yes, Prabhuji.
So one question is that what's the time factor here? How many hours you think it'll require us to really finish the homework and essay, because I think our time is very limited. You know that, So
Yeah.
what's
So
your estimate?
no, it's
People.
very good. So homework for Bhakti Vaibhava is really not as extensive as you had for Bhakti Shastri. The homework that I will get for Bhakti Vaibhava is very, you want me to show you some of the examples? It's very like four or five questions, not too many. You don't have to basically go verse wise verse and purport wise purport. No, it's much, and in fact, these things have been refined, and the goal is basically how to make overall learning that is needed instead of making it too extensive and then devotee falling short. No, I can't do it, it's too heavy. So homework, Prabhu, is going to be much lighter. I know it's coming from Bhakti Sastri experience, but this one really is not much.
Okay.
In fact, the work is going to be more for me, trying to put everything systematically so that it's important for you. But homework is not much for this course. Closed book test also is not going to be like what you had. You'll have a verse to write with translation, and then 5 or 6 questions. That's all. It's not going to be like long-term, short-term objective questions. We'll talk about some of that. So overall, this course definitely will be a lighter version of what you did in Bhakti Shastri, if that helps. Because Bhakti Shastri was a course that is mandate for you to get uh, the Brahman initiation, and also uh, our organization expect that everybody now should be going through the Bhakti Shastri. Bhakti Vaibhava and higher courses becomes more of your personal choices, how in depth you want to be in the Shastric understanding. So it will focus on different aspect.
Okay.
It will focus more on giving you the technical tools and saying things, and you'll see that some of those things, it will now focus more on broadening your horizon rather than consuming your time on doing some of the homework that might not be too critical and too useful for us or for you or for the group. That's what I understand, as I'm hearing some of the discussion. So now the scope is going to shift. So it is going to be less rigorous, I believe, comparing to what you had in Bhakti Shastri. If that helps, Prabhu.
Very encouraging, Prabhu. Thank you.
That's Sindhu Mataji. What do you have?
Prabhuji, so sorry, another question popped
Yeah.
up in
Please,
my mind. So
this is the purpose of this session, Mataji. So please ask.
okay, so
Yeah.
so you mentioned that we'll be having less homework and less questions, but then how are we getting prepared for the test in that case? Is the test easier too, or how? Meaning, we always, when we did Bhakti Shastri homework, I remember that we were highly dependent on the homework that we did.
Same
At
thing
least
here
I
too.
was. Oh, okay.
Exactly same thing.
All right, cool. Thank you.
The homework is basically your kind of foundation. So whatever you do in the homework, maybe the way we'll present the question, maybe we'll little bit change the wording so that it's not copy and paste, but intent will more or less will stay the same. Very good, enough, Mataji. So homework still is something that you should try to put your heart and soul and do it very nicely.
Yes.
Okay, so 50% we have to get to pass this course, and please make sure that you are coming and joining all the Zoom session.
Prabhuji,
So for
one
you,
quick question, Prabhuji.
yes, please, yeah.
Prabhuji, how many SS per unit? 1, 2.
Look at this one, Prabhu.
Yeah, here you wrote like.
So you have to. So what will happen is that more than number of questions, the total number of words.
Okay.
So for example, for test for unit 1, it will say that, you have to answer up to 2000 words. Please choose 2 to 4 questions. Okay. So if you choose maybe at least minimum 2 questions you have to do. Okay. So if you just decide to answer 2 questions and you have enough material, enough subject to write up to 1000 words, then just 2 questions should be sufficient. But if you don't have, and you will see that there will be
Each
certain,
question 2000 words. Each question up to
no, total 2000.
total 2000 words. Okay.
Yes.
2000 to 2000. Yeah.
That's
Fine.
good that you are asking. So total 2000 you have to use. But you can split that 2000 words either in 2 questions or 3 questions or up to 4 questions
Got
also. So if you do the 2 questions, you have to do 1000 words each. If you do 4, then 500 words each.
500. Yep.
Remember in Bhakti Shastri, how many words we had to write?
300.
And how did you all feel about it?
Yeah, that was easy, Prabhuji.
And you can always go beyond 300 was sometimes not enough. And
Exactly. But yes, if you get into the logic of saying certain thing, then it will go, way more than you are, doing. So I'm doing some of the courses, and I get the instruction saying that nicely wrought, but too long, because I always write more than what I don't know. This is maybe one of my deficiency, that I cannot say things very concisely, precisely. I have to. So you'll find out, you would know, right, that how is your writing skill. So if you really look at this, memorization is important, right? And we'll talk about that, why we have to memorize the verses. I'll give a presentation and give you the 10 benefits of memorizing the verses. This essay writing will give you basically a skill of expressing your understanding on a certain topic. Okay. This closed book test will overall develop your technical understanding on the subject, right? And homework definitely is both, homework and closed book test overall will build your technical understanding. So there is purpose that, these courses are designed like that. Srila Prabhupada wrote volumes and volumes, right? Don't you think that some of you need to be a good author, good writer in future? We have to be, right? Kadanidhi, you'll have to, I think somebody is talking. I need to. So you'll see it's very interesting, very powerful. Okay, put your heart and soul inside it. You will enjoy it. Every service, it has some purpose. Okay, so 50% is going to be marginal pass. 55 and between 55 and 64, you just you are less than average. But 65 to 74 is average pass. So please at least try to stay between 65 to 74. And if you want to be honor and high honor, then go beyond 75. So this is how it is, but at least 50% will grant you certificate and will award you Bhakti Vaibhava course. This is the registration form, and I'm going to send that to the group. Please fill it. And as you can see in this course, I said before also that for this course, a Bhakti Shastra is prerequisite, but you can say that if you want to receive the certificate that you have completed the requirement. And we are knowing each other, so I know many of you have the Bhakti Shastri, you have done it. So that requirement is fulfilled. I'm not worrying about it. The next part is your overall standing and behavior. For that, if you are doing outside of uh, St. Louis, then you will have to get a letter of recommendation from temple president, who will basically say that, yes, this devotee has good moral standing, and he has been serving the institution in a good standing, and I recommend him to pursue his Bhakti Vaibhava course. But here, since all of us are working with Lal Gopal Prabhu, I don't think that he will have any objection stopping you. Rather, definitely he'll approve you to go and get this certificate. be part of this course. But I had to get, in fact, letter of recommendation from him that says that yes, he has a good, uh, standing in our society. So, so all you have to do right now is that write few sentences about your status of Bhakti Shastri, and then mention what are the other training and courses you have done in ISKCON. It's very important for us to know, because this form, once you complete, I don't know, this is second time I'm repeating, I submit all of that to the Ministry of Education, and they know how many students are enrolled into the program, and then they track, how many of them finally got the certificate. So please, just to show good support to ISKCON St. Louis, show dedication, take this as a service. You're passing and you doing good overall is good for our institution, for this local chapter. So it's very important that some of these things we take it in a very serious way, and we understand the broader and bigger mood. If you have a commitment for certain thing, and that's why I requested that if you are committing for it, please, try to adjust your schedule in a way that we can efficiently do it. Last but not least, I would like one of you to read this screen, whoever can.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
With these examinations, I wish to encourage all my disciples to very carefully learn this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, because there is so many preachers who will be required to bring this message to all of the corners of the earth. Dated
See,
February 7th, 1969.
see the purpose. So Prabhupada said that we need preachers. So all of you, please preach. That's the purpose of doing this course. That jare dekho tare kaho, fulfill this,
Krishna
please.
Upadesha.
Yeah, jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Updesh. Let us, sync our life by sharing the Updesh of Krishna. Whoever we see, we have to. Don't worry too much about, my qualification, your qualification, this deficiency, that deficiency. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, "Oh Arjun, you are beyond this matter, this mind and intelligence. You are a living force, soul, who has nothing to do with this matter, nothing to do with this mind, nothing to do with intelligence. Some of them are your gross identity, some of them are your false identity. As a soul, you need to regain your true identity. You are a Swarupaya, Nitera Krishna Das." So don't think that doing these courses are uh, different than you chanting 16 rounds or you doing some service. Take this as a servant. This is I'm going to do to please my spiritual master, to please His Divine Grace Prabhupada, and be a bona fide representative of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Devotee says that act locally, think globally. My dear devotees, we might be very insignificant. Don't worry for that. Wherever we are, support your heart and soul locally, and then at the end of the day, everything will manifest. Krishna will empower us. So with that, I would like to give you a very good spirit with this course. And if there are anybody else who wants to do this course, by the way, you will really go through it and you would not even know. Let's just stay together. It's very important staying together. We'll stay together. You all have Bhakti Shastri Bhakti. I'll keep on doing this, for all of us. We have to help each other. It's not like that you are not helping me. You are helping me immensely, helping my communication skill, helping how I can put my thoughts, helping me to refine how to say certain things so that it makes sense to you. So it's mutual relationship. We both are helping each other. So that's the spirit. We help others and get help, and we grow together. Don't be isolated or deviated type of attitude. we are one type of mindset. So Prabhupada expected that all of us become a powerful preacher. And how we become preacher? Foundation. Srila Prabhupada spent 70 years before he came to America. See his, that's why we sometimes emphasize reading Prabhupada Lilamrita. This is the stage for us to prepare, no jumping the hoop, very systematically prepare ourselves, make that a strong foundation. Then time will come when Krishna will think that this person is qualified. He will empower you to serve the mankind. Okay, so with that spirit, keep the good attitude, anything that you do. And I would like to give a pause, and I'll see you next Sunday at same time, and we'll start preparing ourselves to get into the first canto, first verse. So next week, most likely I'm going to talk some of the some of the basic understanding that we have to approach Bhagavatam. So with that, I would like to stop sharing the screen and see if you have any last minute questions.
Prabhu, Prabhu, can you go back on the form? I have a question on the form.
Yes, Prabhuji. Are you seeing the screen, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you see, you put down Zale as Pandit RB.
Uh-huh.
I tried that. I couldn't find you. Is it connected to your name to your phone?
Bank of America account.
A phone or email, Prabhuji, can we use your phone or email address?
Yeah, you can use use also let me check that one, Prabhu. I'll revise it
just
and
check
I
send it.
think previously we did email address, I believe, Prabhuji.
Oh, so it
I
might
think,
be, yeah, then it might
yeah.
be, I don't remember, but it might be email then. I'll look at the form
Yes.
that I have for.
So if you could change that because it's not listed.
Oh,
I
thank you,
checked.
Prabhu.
Yeah, it's
Thank
not
you.
listed.
No, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anything else? So please ask, if you have anything. This is very important.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that write something about Bhakti Shastra. Have you completed, like it's a yes or no question, or we need to write
So Bhakti
something
Shastra
there?
is prerequisite for this Bhakti Vaibhava. Please communicate with instructor if you have partially completed. So you can say, you don't have to do anything. Now you have very much done. You can say that I have made all the requirement of Bhakti Shastra with the same instructor. So I know you very well, right? So you can say that, I know your status. Did you receive your certificate yet, Mataji, or no?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Didn't
so you'll be
receive any.
receiving, you'll be receiving. So you have Bhakti Shastri. I'm sure Priya Devi Dasi Mataji also has done, right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm done
Yeah.
with the course, but I'm still waiting for the certificate.
Yeah,
so.
so waiting takes a lot of, I waited 7 months, Mataji, because there are not many human resources everywhere. Now
Yeah.
there are so many centers, so everybody is making requests and it goes there and they have like 2 or 3 devotees. And I think they hired recently full-time devotee to just do this. And they have to give so many certificates, Bhakti Sastra certificate, Bhakti Vaibhava, then Bhakti Vedanta Sarabhama, plus, other TTC courses that they are doing. So they are pretty occupied. It takes time. 7 month Mataji, I had to wait. So,
like,
but it will come. Don't be discouraged. You all are in pipeline and, they'll send it to you.
but Prabhuji, if you want, I have like module-wise certificates for Bhakti Shastri, the online ones, so I can provide you as a
No,
proof.
just write that, if partially completed. I think I know that you have done it. So by the time the course will be completed, you will have a certificate, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, don't make that as a factor to not continue with this one. We can adjust that part.
Sure.
And the next one is optional, Prabhu. What ISKCON seminars, courses have you taken, completed till date? I don't know what.
You have done Bhakti Shastri, you have done ISKCON disciple course, right, Mataji?
Yes.
You have done child protection
No.
training?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, see, most of the devotees from our congregation has done that course, I know. So those are the courses you can write.
Okay.
That I have done disciple course, I have done Bhakti Shastri, child protection And anything else you have done?
That's all. Prabhuji.
Any courses outside?
The teacher training course.
Yeah,
we
that's
did
what I was
with
going to say. Teacher training course. So what else you need? You have all the
Oh,
tools in
okay.
your bucket. So yes, please write that also. TTC 1 and 2. Did you do 1, 2?
1.
Okay, so TTC 1 is good. Yes, Mataji. So those are the courses you can write. Okay. Anything anybody would like to share or ask before we adjourn?
So you'll confirm Prabhuji in the group about your email address or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
the
I'll have
Kalei
to
Prabhuji.
I'll have to go and check it. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
I was
Yes,
just
yes.
checking, Prabhu. It is your email ID. I was just checking.
Oh,
I
the
think
Bhakti Shastra. Okay,
yeah,
so that's email ID. Thank you, Prabhu.
PanditRB@gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This was like, when I had not created even my Ramacharya, because that's the form I had submitted. I've been working on some of these things a little prior, but yeah, that's the one. Okay, Ramkishore Prabhu, you have anything? Everything is clear, Prabhu?
No, everything is clear. Thank you, Prabhu.
Gopal Gatu
excited.
Prabhu. Yeah, we have to be excited. Gopal Gatu Prabhu, continue, okay? Everything will be fine. You like, you like hearing, it will help.
Will do, Prabhu. Thank you. Correct.
Hari, Dandavats.
Prabhu, can I comment on Ramkishore Prabhu's door? Last time in Bhakti Shastri, Prabhuji said that he's dull-headed. And I looked on the door, it says high voltage.
Really? It says somewhere?
On Prabhu's door, it says high voltage.
Oh. Yeah.
You're high voltage, Prabhuji.
No, very enthusiastic. That's what it is, I mean, we're not worrying too much about passing or failing, or somebody will say, maybe I'm not very, this and that. Krishna, we are serving, Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the importance of our quality, and what is how much resistance our disqualification can create? None of these things. So always enthusiastically engaging in whichever way we can with due respect and mood will definitely take us to the higher in our Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Raghav, before we adjourn, do you have anything? Are you here, or do you have anything that you would like to share?
I'm just catching each and every word you spoke from your lotus mouth.
Oh. Please don't appreciate me like that, otherwise I'll get nervous.
No, I mean, I sincerely want to show pay my gratitude for what you're doing for the St. Louis congregation, Yatra, for Srila Prabhupada. Your enthusiasm has no limits, is beyond the bound one can imagine. You have that sincere desire to serve Prabhupada and the mission and the devotees. You put so much time, and your presentation can by itself speak, by the way. Each and every slides. So you just don't just stick on to one thing. You refer to so many different scriptures within our Gaudiya Sampradaya, and try to put your heart in the way that you communicate. Just attend your class itself. I feel that I'm there. I get energized. On a Sunday morning where I want to be lazy. Now I'm fully charged. I wish I can hear your thing every day morning.
Prabhuji, this is blessing of the senior devotees. Whatever I am able to do because of your blessing, you give me the opportunity. Remember, you were part of making all of the certification process. So it's all, we helping each other. So thank you so much for your blessings, Prabhuji. Really appreciate. And I'm sure that you also presenting a very good example. No doubt about it. Thank you.
As much as possible, I'll participate in this discussion. Thank you.
Jai Dandavad. Thank you, Prabhu. You can guide us also as we go along. No problem. Thank you so much. So, Ramananda Saran Das Prabhu, do you have anything to share before we adjourn?
No, Prabhuji. I mean, I initially thought I thought of attending this class today, and okay, if I feel that the course is a little tough or something like that, as same as Bhakti Sastri, I thought of okay, taking some time. But now seeing Lal Prabhu here, I'm feeling a little nervous, but still, yeah, I'll continue. Prabhuji.
Yeah, this is not going to be
learn.
very extensive like Bhakti Sastri. You will see it. It's
Yeah.
going to be easier.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I think there's a lot of advantage doing here locally,
Yes.
especially Ramacharya Prabhu, because we know each other. Yes, there's a requirement we have to go through that cannot be compromised. But there's always a leeway where we can work personally with him to make things happen. So that's one advantage of working with one person rather than just
100%, 100%.
doing it online and we don't know who that person is, how the person is, right? So there's some adjustment can be done. Is everyone from the Bhakti Shastri is in this registered going to be registering here, Prabhu? Or
No, so few devotee, they said that they are not going to. They should have at least, came, to 1 or 2 classes in the beginning. They thought that it's going to be very rigorous. Like I don't see Divya Himangi Devi Dasi Mataji. She should have continued. I don't know why. She is not part of it. And then also Manonath Prabhu sent me message this morning. Prabhu, I would like to self-study. And then also Amal Radhika Devi Dasi Mataji. So 3 of these devotee, I thought that they will continue.
at
But
least we could have told that they attend just this first session.
yes,
An idea. If they can decide whether they want to continue or not to continue. Maybe you
yeah,
send the recording and just let them at least hear and then make a decision.
right. You're 100% right, Prabhuji. 100% right.
Or I think maybe they can attend the next Sunday's morning session also without registering and see how they feel about it. I think
Yes,
that
Prabhuji.
could be a good idea too.
Yeah, you all can reach out to them and tell them that, hey, this is going to be, much easier than what you had to go through in Bhakti Shastri. Plus, at the end, say they all have the certificate, right? Finally, they got the certificate. And I remember when we started Bhakti Shastri, I'm not trying to criticize. At that time, Mataji was enrolled, right, Mataji? Priya Devi Dasi Mataji. You were already part of the Bhakti Shastri, right? When we started, and you said
No,
that.
Prabhuji, I didn't enroll. Before you started, I already enrolled in Bhakti Vedanta Institute, Prabhuji.
That's what I was
never
saying. That's what I was
Oh,
saying.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes,
That we
yes. Like
started
in
more.
Manhattan Institute.
Yeah. You said that you were not able to join this course because you have already signed somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
see,
Sorry.
and all of you, she's also waiting for certificate. We're also waiting for certificate. So what I'm trying to make is that you would not lose anything. I'm not trying to promote ISKCON St. Louis, but we are, this is going to create a very good environment, and very easily we can get through it.
Prabhuji, I'll call them and
No,
try
I
to
just,
encourage them.
yeah, just say, hey, this is going to be very easy course. Easy, a lot of learning. We can all just stay together and get through it. And
Dayasindhu Mataji has a power of influence.
That's a joke, Prabhu. I will just serve you all in that way. That's the limited capacity that I have. That's the only thing there, Prabhu. No influence.
So you can tell them after they complete this one, like how you do, for example, like Ramacharya Prabhu puts Ramacharya, Das, PhD, they can put,
yes.
Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti.
Now that's why I said Ashok Prabhu, that instead of Dr. Ashok, now you say Bhakti Shastri Ashok. And then you become Bhakti. And then if you get initiated, and then you say Bhakti Vedanta, if you have done, all 12 cantos, and say Bhakti Vedanta, Amal Krishna Das, whatever name you get. That's what the purpose, right?
Amal Krishna Das Prabhu ki jai. Ramacharya Prabhu already initiated Ashok.
No. I got into problem. I just said that it's going to be something like that.
Prabhu, for so much confidence on me. I don't think I really I still feel that the courses and these which at least I'm taking is to just really improving myself. I don't feel that I'm at that level where I could, go out and preach or do anything. It's just to kind of, because at least I have so many deficiencies. I have, so that's why I'm just trying to improve with that. So my goal is always that if I improve myself, then only I can go and improve others. I cannot improve others if I'm not really there. So that's at least my feeling. So I don't know.
Same here,
But the
Prabhu.
thing is that, yeah, the thing
Prabhu, you
is-
are at least able to express that you are not eligible. I am not even able to express I am not even eligible. That's downgrade I have. So Prabhu.
Yes, same here, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I want to say one more thing, Prabhu. Prabhu, last week or week before, when you said you did say this class is going to be tougher. That's why I think those people uh, got discouraged. Probably, I am thinking. But this in this class, I think you toned down and said this is easier. That difference I feel, Prabhu. If I said something wrong, please pardon me, Prabhu.
that is because Karnanidhi Mataji made special khichdi this morning.
Oh.
That mellowed down.
Yeah,
No,
so
Prabhu,
when I
they
said
were-
that this
they-
is going, yeah, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, I think they already pre-decided.
Yeah.
I heard it before also. It's not just yesterday or the last
Yeah, I also
class.
talked to them actually.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a pre-decided thing. But maybe this class would definitely help them to change their mind, if at all, you know.
So when I said, I'm not sure if I said tougher, I said that maybe this course is going to be, requiring more engagement in terms of like we are doing right now, talking like this, and also having, some higher, technical understanding. I'll be expecting that you all share, some of your prior Bhakti Shastri. So in this course, we'll be talking and sharing things. But overall, the homework part, I don't think that I would have said that because I know that this is for me also, it was not that difficult as Bhakti Shastri.
To me, Prabhuji, I don't know even if I can complete or not, but I just wanted to be here and do whatever I can. That was my goal. I don't know. I wanted to just push myself in that direction and just depend on Lord's mercy to complete it. So
Yes, Mataji. Yes. That's
Yeah.
how I think we'll get through it.
That is what I was also thinking, Mataji. Prabhu, I told Prabhu too, but if I want to be in the class and learn things, but I may not be able to do the homework and essay things. But he encouraged me. I should be in it and then learn. So I wanted to be in this.
yeah, I think we completed Bhakti Shastri also like that. So hopefully, Lord's mercy.
Thank you. I'll see you all in Sunday feast then. Vansh
Thank you,
kalpa
Prabhu.
taru bhaisa kripa sindhu bhayavasa patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Krishna
namah.
Kripa Namo Namo.
Assemble Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna. Please share the
Thank you.
words.
Dandavat
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna,
Hari Bo.
Prabhu.
Hari Bo.